All right, we're gonna change pace a little bit here and give you another essential tool for more excellent and just more awesome gaming, nutrition. With the help of our foodie, gamer, and streamer Matt Tevis here, we're gonna take you through all the essentials to get you firing at your best. If you're trying to hone your skills to be more competitive in game or just have more fun with your buddies gaming, having a flexible, delicious meal plan could be the secret trick to your success. That does look really good though. As gamers, without a plan, we lose focus. Whether you're trying to improve your body or performance, without a plan, you run the risk of reaching for some energy-rich beverage or sugar-rich beverage to try and fight the crash of your tanking energy. And this just isn't effective. But thankfully, that's why we have our man Matt here. Matt's studying nutrition and all things food at George Brown College here in Toronto. And he's gonna take us through some simple recipes that'll be not only easy to prepare, but delicious to eat.
Here at Game Without Pain, we've broken our recipes down into 3 groups: full meals, light meals, and snacks.
That's right, at Game Without Pain, not only have we tried to make things easier for you from a food planning side of things, but we're changing the way we look at food entirely. Because let's face it, most of us don't end up eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 meals a day. So by breaking it up this way, it's a little more realistic to how we eat. And not only that, we've done away with food groups entirely. We're more focusing on 5 simple rules that will inform every meal you make, whether it's a full meal, a light meal, or a snack. So here are our 5 essential rules for making any meal plan fantastic.
All right.
Number 1.
Rule number 1 is to make sure you eat the rainbow.
That's right, and we don't mean the Skittles rainbow, we mean real colorful foods. So things like red peppers, eggplants, purples and yellows and oranges, full of antioxidants, full of minerals, all the things you really need to keep your energy up. Yellows and whites and bland colors, they've got some fuel in there, but not the real stuff to keep your body humming on all cylinders. What's number 2?
Rule number 2 is to make sure you eat real food first.
Absolutely, so like the rainbow, real colors, real food, lots of real energy in there. Supplements can be helpful, we'll talk about those later, but in a pinch, useful, ideally it's real food. What's number 3?
Rule number 3 is to make sure you have your proteins and your fats.
That's right, so lots of energy. Your carbohydrates will give you little spikes and crashes. If you have meals full of proteins and fats, you'll stay energized a bit longer, which is essential for longer gaming rounds.
Rule number 4 is to make sure you have good supplements.
That's right, and we mean based on real food. If it doesn't look like real food was dried up and busted up, don't shake it up. And that's really the trick to it. It's pretty simple. In a pinch, they're helpful. You can get greens, you can get proteins, but when in doubt, try for real food. And if things are expensive, frozen food can be just as good. And what's rule number 5?
Our final rule is to make sure you have carbohydrates.
That's right, and they're tricky because we can go overboard on them and they can cause health problems, but not enough, and we don't have enough energy to sustain ourselves. So it's picking the right amount, but going back to rule number 3, mixing it with your proteins and fats. Awesome, thanks Matt.
No problem.
The goal for this section is to give you nice, easy meals that you can get together quickly before any gaming session. Many of us like to think that if we're eating lots of times throughout the day, maybe every hour or so, we'll be keeping our energy high. But in reality, it's better to have a full meal with all the colors you mentioned earlier. A bit of carbohydrate in there for some fuel, lots of good fats and oils, and proteins like we mentioned earlier, and colorful foods in there to keep your energy up. And the goal for these foods is to be easy to eat and delicious so we can go back to them regularly. If we aren't eating foods that are high in all these excellent mix of items, macros and micros, which again we'll talk about. Macros being your fats and proteins, micros being the vitamins and minerals you get in the colors, you'll end up crashing, and that's no good for anyone. And whether that crash ends up being lower performance, or the crash ends up you get a little hangry, you're no good to your team there. So we're gonna let Matt show us exactly what to expect for these delicious foods. He's going step by step and adding all the ingredients. We'll let him tell us more specifically what we're eating. And what is going on first?
Okay, so first we started off with spreading hummus along the wrap. This could be substituted with cream and cheese if you prefer. Then you lay on just a simple layer of baby spinach or any spinach really.
What's next after the spinach?
Okay, so we want to layer on some cheese.
Yes, we do.
You could do either grated cheese or sliced cheese. It doesn't make that much of a difference as long as you're getting some cheese.
That's right, I like the spice, so we got a little jalapeno in our Monterey Jack. So.
Yeah, and another benefit to that is it adds more colors in.
That's true, it's true, lots of vitamin C in the peppers.
After the cheese, you want to layer on just a little bit of turkey. You just want about 3 slices is enough.
And we want about 20 or 30 grams of protein, depending on your size, in each meal to make it last long and get what you need during the day. So between the hummus, the cheese, and the turkey, we're good to go.
Yeah. Just to finish it off, you just want to get some of the reds from the red pepper. You're just gonna slice that up nice and thin. And if you want, on top of that, you can put another layer of spinach and you're done.
Or more hummus. I can do whatever I want, really, right?
Right.
That's mine.
So now that we completed our full meal, we're gonna move on to our lighter meal, which is our berry spinach smoothie.
If time is really tight, sometimes you have to go for a smaller meal. In this case, we're going for a shake. Shakes can be fantastic if you use real food and ingredients like we talked about earlier. In a pinch, you can use supplements, but real food's always best. In this case, we're going with yogurt, fruit, spinach again, so we got lots of different colors, and some fresh berries with the big reds and purples. Real food is the way to go, but sometimes supplements can be necessary. The other side of the equation is texture. Some people really don't like shakes, so get a good blender and it'll help get things a little smoother for you, a little more palatable. And again, if cost is an issue, sometimes supplements or even fresh food can be expensive. So another option is frozen fruit. It makes it nice and cold, and I think there's some additional benefits.
One of the added benefits to frozen fruit is that it's flash frozen, which locks in nutrients while shipping.
Fantastic. And we're in Canada, so frozen is sometimes the only way to go when it comes to fruit season.
Yes. The first step to making the smoothie would be to first, of course, peel the banana, because you don't want any banana peels in your smoothie. You're only going to want about half of the banana. Then what you want to do is you grab some plain Greek yogurt and just toss in about 2 spoonfuls into your cup. From there, what you're going to do is you're going to grab your berries, grab about a handful and drop them in. Maybe about a hand and a half.
Yeah, more berries, more berries.
The cranberries are smaller, so just a handful is fine.
Look at the color, so bright.
So right on top of the berries, you're gonna want to put about a handful of spinach and then cover that with some water and then blend. So after you blend it up, you'll notice it's a little bit runny. So what you want to do is take a chunk of ice, toss it in, and blend it again. So that was our berry spinach smoothie. Anything else, Scott?
Well, that's it. Cheers. That's good, man. What you can do to add a bit more nutrients to it is add in some nut butters, whether you like peanut butter or cashew butter or almond butter. It'll add a bit more protein and fat and leave you fuller longer, but this is delicious. More? Yeah. What's next?
Next, we're moving on to our snack.
I've been excited this all day long. Well, for me, it's not too long before I get hungry again, oftentimes. Even if I've had a pretty good meal, I get the craving for something sweet and tasty pretty quickly. Especially if I'm playing, it's easy to kind of just get distracted and lose yourself in the game. And all of a sudden I'm left wanting a bit of food. And it's easy to go for something really sugary and sweet and delicious. But like we talked about earlier, you get the spike and crash if you just go for sugary things. Well, Matt's gonna give us a snack that'll help us feel full longer between meals and still sate that little bit of sweet tooth. What do you have for us?
So today we're just preparing a simple sliced bananas dipped in chocolate and rolled in some crushed nuts.
That sounds simply delicious. See what I did there? Hey, what do we do next?
All right, so we're gonna start with that half a banana that we left over from the smoothie that we made, and simply just cut them into slices. So that's all you're gonna do with all the bananas. Just, you know, moderate sized. You don't need them too small or too big.
Those look delicious. Are you gonna use that one?
Go for it. And then after you're done slicing them down, you're going to put your chocolate in the microwave in short 30-second bursts. Make sure to stir in between so it doesn't burn.
All right, what do we do now?
So right now you're just gonna grab a banana, dunk it into the chocolate about halfway. You don't want it completely covered.
Or you do.
And then you're just gonna roll it. You're gonna dip it in whatever nuts you want.
I'm gonna mix the nuts. So right now we've got a selection of nuts: walnuts, peanuts, pecans, and almonds. The variety nuts have different oils, different amounts of protein in them, so it's good to have the variety. And it's really hard not to eat this right now, so I'm trying my best to give you some more information. And one thing that it is important to keep an eye on with snacks and any kind of eating, one way to make food last a little bit longer is actually focus on eating it. So rather than trying to play games and eat at the same time, take opportunities to take a short break and actually enjoy your food. And it'll help you stay fuller longer and really appreciate the awesomeness. I can't believe that you can do this again and again and not just eat it. I'm going for it.
One of my favorite things about a snack like this is that you can make a plate full, put them in your fridge, and grab them whenever you need them.
I lost my banana. This is why I'm not in food school. Yeah. His are pretty, mine are functional. There we go. All right, let's do this. Cheers. So Matt had a really good idea earlier. If you can be patient enough to actually make a plate of it, you can stick it in the fridge and save it for later. It makes a delicious stack and the chocolate will harden, right?
Right.
So good. We have another one?
Go for it.
Sweet. All right, we've learned a lot about food, and we've had some fantastic food. The essential rule is basically eat the rainbow, have lots of fat and protein around it, and don't forget to have liquids with it. Water in your shakes, and I'm getting off topic here, but the food is distracting me, so you'll have to forgive me.
Right. So Scott, what's our next video?
Well, the next video is the pregame series, so we'll look at some exercise and movement strategies around pregame, but nutrition's a big part of that, so I'm glad we covered this now.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, don't forget to look below, and if you have a favorite recipe or something we didn't share, please toss on our social media and let us know what you love to do pregame and postgame for food, and don't forget to watch this young man's stream. He'll be cooking up food periodically on there too, so I'll be tuning in and munching out.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.